Hello everyone, dear friends of Ukraine, dear brothers and sisters. Today we are here from Lithuania with a delegation, Laurynas Kasčiūnas, the head of the Committee of Defense, Mr. Raimondas Lopata, the head of the Committee of Future, Mr. Emanuelis Zingeris and colleague Žygimantas Pavilionis, members of Parliament.
Члени парламенту.
We are here today because it's our day of independence and your day of unity. And the day of unity means that we need to be united. We need to show the world that we are here and we are never let you down, because what is happening here is we are defending the future of the whole Europe, not only the future of Ukraine, but the future of the region and the whole Europe. And this bluffing of Mr. Putin, who presses the whole world, needs to be stopped. We call upon sanctions. Nord Stream 2 should be stopped. If anything happens, if he will begin a bloody war, we hope that it will not. And we are calling our colleagues from other Western countries, from the United States and European Union, to also come to Ukraine to stand by your side. I would like to give a floor to Mr. Laurynas Kasčiūnas, and all other colleagues also will have a short word. Okay?
Thank you, Paulus. I think maybe I will make some small introduction, and maybe you have a question, so it's maybe easier to communicate. Okay? But the main message already said by Paulus. When the civilians are going out, politicians should come in. So we are here with our brothers Ukrainians. So it's our main message to be with you in the hard times. As usual in our history, to be with you together in the hard times. And it's also the message to all our parliamentarians of different countries, to the leadership of different countries, to come to Ukraine now, especially now, not to be afraid, to come to show solidarity with Ukrainian people, who defends now Europe here, not only Ukraine. You defend Europe here. The future of Europe decides here in Ukraine. That's why we in Lithuania are quite skeptical when we hear all these ideas of engagement of Russia, appeasement of Russia, concessions on Russia. Be careful. If you will give something to them at this moment, they will come in 1 year or half of a year and will ask more. More geopolitical concessions. And it should be a red line, understanding. But if you want to deal with Russia, the main principle is the deterrence.
Принцип роботи з Росією – це стримування.
But not concessions, not appeasement.
Здаватися.
So, we see what we need to do, the whole Western community. Not to let for Russia to have a veto right on your accession to NATO or EU. We even need to accelerate Ukrainians' integration to the European Union. I think the idea of candidate status to Ukraine is very important in this period of time. And we will work on it in different parliamentary levels to push our European agenda on that.
І це буде на порядку денному.
On deterrence, we need a credible sanctions package. Not symbolical sanctions, but credible sanctions package. Paulus already mentioned about Nord Stream. We need to talk about SWIFT. We need to talk about embargo on energy resources. We need to talk about restriction on financial sector. We need to talk about Iranian-type sanctions. It could deter. And another thing, when we give lethal weapons to Ukraine, to defend yourself. It's not escalation. It's a deterrence. So what we should do more and more, we should supply Ukraine with lethal weapons which is oriented to your defense weapons. And it's the most important thing also, and we are working on it. And as you know, Lithuania is not only talks, but also we are doers. Last weekend, for Valentine's Day, from big heart from Ukraine came stingers and other equipment to your country as a action, practical action, how all Europe and NATO should behave.
Ми показуємо приклад, яким чином стара Європа має поводитись.
Будь ласка. Okay, just maybe a few words to add.
Ще декілька слів.
You are very good on Eastern Front. So I'm quite sure that you will defeat your enemy sooner or later. But I'm always trying to encourage you to be very active on the Western fronts. Today, with Florinas and Deputy Speaker and our delegation from Kiev, we will be speaking with Congress, American Congress, with London, with Paris, with Berlin, with most powerful politicians, trying to fight for you on the Western fronts for your accession to the EU and NATO. So never abandon this hope. Nobody wanted us in. We were fighting for Lithuanian membership in EU and NATO. You can do it, and you will. And we will help you on every step. Thank you.
And we are here actually, and last week we came to decision to be with you today.
Ми тут прибули до України.
For the reason that there is Day of Unity, in the reason that it's Day of Independence of Lithuania. All Lithuania are today with you together.
Весь литовський народ зараз з вами, з Україною.
Not important how critical will be the situation. We will be with you together.
Також дуже важливо, що ми будемо разом.
But we will not let Russia bring us to 97.
Але ми не дамо Росії привести нас до 97-го року.
Security architecture is forming by free choice of the nations. Security composition, security architecture is composed by the free will, nation will to be members.
Волі народу, волі націй.
So we are expecting you in European Union, and we will fight for you to be members of NATO. And we are expecting from you to be firm, not waving, firm, defending your positions who were declared by your parliament, by your executive government, and by president. So we are behind you.
Thank you so much, colleagues. With us also Dainius Kreivys. He is the energy minister of Lithuania and a member of our committee, National Security Committee. So maybe you few words?
Just few words.
Декілька слів хочу сказати.
We have very deep and comprehensive cooperation with Ministry of Energy of Ukraine.
Ми маємо дуже ґрунтовну співпрацю з Міністерством енергетики України.
Ми працюємо very close on many projects,
particularly one of our,
let's say, common path towards synchronization of our
дуже велика робота проводиться по синхронізації наших енергосистем і від'єднання від російської енергосистеми.
Ukraine is moving forward very fast, and next week is going to have independent trial test of its system.
І скоро ми будемо проводити тестування від'єднаної незалежної системи.
And this is real step
Це реальний крок в напрямку Європейського Союзу. Приєднання до ENTSO-E, європейської мережі, це є кроком до Європейського Союзу. Необхідно рухатися в цьому напрямку.
Organizations in EU, what we could in order to
і приєднуватися до всіх організацій в Європейському Союзі, вибудовувати, розбудовувати мережу і отримувати підтримку.
So, thank you.
Okay, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Raimondas Lopata, also the head of the Committee of Future.
Скаже декілька слів.
Actually, everything was said in the sense that the main points of the reason of our visit was explained, but most important thing, not talking about geopolitical circumstances, not even talking about the new Cold War, which could become even hot, democracy again, autocracy, new tendency of our days. Most important thing is that those who came from Lithuania as politicians, as parliamentarians, all of us have very deep internal feelings, feelings of love to Ukraine, remembering our common fights, not only in the deep history, but even in the 90s. A lot of Ukrainians helped us during our fight, January 1991, and a lot of rememberings.
Як в нашому випадку з 91-го року, у нас була боротьба. З Росією, тобто у нас спільний ворог.
Okay, any questions, please?
Можливо, якісь питання у когось є?
Телеканал Україна.
Доброго дня, в мене два питання.
I have two questions.
Перше з приводу санкцій після вчорашнього голосування.
With regards to sanctions, не спішіть просто.
Після вчорашнього голосування у Держдумі чимало про санкції говорять, зокрема, і литовські урядовці.
After yesterday's voting in the State Duma, what Lithuanian state officials think about that?
Сьогодні ми почули, що це можливі обмеження енергетичні, пов'язані з Північним потоком.
Today we saw that there might be some limitations and restrictions related to Nord Stream 2.
Але за останні 8 років ми бачимо, що санкції практично не працюють, це не стримує Путіна.
Over the recent 8 years we could observe that the sanctions virtually do not work, and those sanctions virtually do not restrict or deter Putin.
Чи не вважають наші спікери, що потрібні якісь більш жорсткі кроки з боку Заходу? Якщо так, то що б це могло бути?
Would you think that there should be some more restrictive, more strong sanctions by West, collective West? And if so, what those sanctions could be?
Okay, Mr. Žygimantas Pavilionius wants to answer.
Just a few words. Well, it took a lot of years for us to convince the West to introduce similar strong sanctions against illegitimate dictator Lukashenko.
Ну, для нас дуже багато років зайняло застосувати санкції подібні до Лукашенко.
And not to wait, but introduce it now.
Те саме буде стосуватися і Путіна, і не очікувати якийсь час, а просто зараз вже
against Putin's pockets.
Тобто, щоб ці санкції повинні стосуватися особистого карману Путіна.
Not only those operatives who kill or poison, but those who
і це буде стосуватися не тільки тих оперативників, які там отруюють когось там на сході. А найкращі санкції з нашого точки зору це прийняття України до членів НАТО. А також прибалтійські країни.
In Copenhagen European Council,
ми дуже чітко це визначили в Раді Європи у 93-му році.
So we have to fight in Berlin, in Paris,
ми повинні боротися, і це про це будемо говорити в Парижі, в Брюсселі, в Берліні, за Україну, за прийняття України в НАТО.
And we will do everything what we can to correct the mistake of Bucharest NATO summit that was done.
Ми будемо виправляти всі наші помилки, які ми вдалися в минулому.
І друге питання. Литва допомагає нам військово. Частину допомоги ми отримали буквально 3 дні тому. Якщо є інформація, чи можливі ще якісь поставки найближчими днями, що це буде і коли?
And we all know that Lithuania helps us from the military standpoint, and some latest delivery of weapons occurred 2-3 days ago. Could you elaborate whether we would be getting more from Lithuania?
Emanuel Zingeris, please.
Sure. We are, you know very well that we are supporting totally Belarus and our neighbors in Belarus. In Vilnius, you have headquarters of Belarusian opposition.
Ви знаєте, що ми дуже надаємо сильну підтримку нашим друзям з Білорусі, і у Вільнюсі є офіс білоруської опозиції.
You know very well that we are supporting Russian Democrats and Navalny team is in Vilnius too.
Також вам відомо, що ми підтримуємо опозицію російську, і команда Навального також присутня там.
You know very well that even we are just declaring support to democracy in Taiwan and democracy in People's Republic of China, and we are under heavy pressure of People's Republic of China now.
Також ми надаємо підтримку демократичним рухам Тайваню та з Демократичної Республіки Китай. У нас вони також, і через це ми отримуємо певний тиск з боку Китайської
We are doing
Республіки.
for the democratic world what we can, and we will supply you, yes, with additional weapons, looking to our small size of our country and our possibilities, but we will be with you during all your fight for us.
Ну, ми надаємо підтримку демократичним силам, і так ми будемо далі надавати вам військову допомогу в рамках наших можливостей нашої країни.
You know very well that we understand, and we understand well that next, if democracy will fail against Russian dictatorship who now invading you, next will be Baltic states.
І ми розуміємо, що якщо Україна впаде під диктаторський режим Росії, то наступними будуть прибалтійські країни.
Якщо запитань більше немає,
Any more questions?
Будь ласка.
Okay.
Питань більш немає, так?
Okay. So, thank you very much. Stay strong, Ukraine.
Дякую дуже. Україна залишається сильною.